We're going to go to a Spurs fan next. He wants to bring a favourite back to the club. James, who is that favourite?
Yeah, hi, evening. Yeah, I think that Daniel Levy has had 3 chances to bring managers into this club, and each of them has failed. And for many different reasons that is too long to go into. And if he does not gazump Chelsea Football Club, because Pochettino has obviously not signed the deal yet, and if he went to Pochettino now, you can be sure Pochettino would jump at the chance. And if he doesn't, if this was a company that was trading, it doesn't really matter if it was a clothing company and the managing director, where the evidence was that the managing director that you had got you to the pinnacle, close to it in the global market or whatever you were doing, and you didn't, and you had the chance to go and get him again and you didn't, he would be got rid of by the board for being negligent in his office, malfeasance in office. And it really is a tragedy that it's not going to happen, unfortunately, unless he suddenly has somebody's talked some sense into him. And, it's just ridiculous. It's a real shame, because you can see today it's the same thing that happened against Liverpool. And, the squad, it's unbelievable, really.
James, I find it fascinating with Spurs because obviously Manchester United, Newcastle and Liverpool are battling it out for top 4. But the reality is, in the international break, so were Spurs. Conte was always going to go. They dithered. They ended up with his assistant in for a few weeks. You've now got Ryan Mason. I find it shocking that Spurs were in a top 4 fight and they're now in a position where they're fighting to not finish 7th or 8th. It's unbelievable. I just can't see where they're going to go if they don't get Nagelsmann or Pochettino. You're talking about people like Xabi Alonso. Why would Harry Kane stay? It needs a change.
It needs a change, and it's just negligent because they knew Conte was going to go in September. There was no way he was going to stay, and he should have been on the case well before. He should have had it all in place, and it's very, very sad because we now are in a position that he's going to go to all these different people. Company would have been an amazing thing to get, in my opinion, but Burnley have tied him up. And, it's staring at him in the face. I think it's stubbornness. I think he's put himself into a corner. And so, everybody's been saying, Ryan Nelson, maybe he's going to... Ryan Nelson, bless his heart, is a lovely, lovely guy. He is a jumped-up academy coach. That's it. He shouldn't be anywhere near coaching the first team of Tottenham Hotspur as a manager. It's ludicrous. And I think that's... Yeah, there we are.
No, fantastic call, James. Thanks for calling in. I was just going to say we've had a texter saying that why would Pochettino jump at the chance to rejoin Spurs? This Spurs fan sounds delusional because he's got a history with Spurs, because maybe he fancies going back there. And I don't think Spurs are that far away. I just think it's incredible that Spurs were in a top 4 race in the international break and they've dropped like a stone. It's not acceptable. And there is a fascination with Spurs because it's just ridiculously Spursy to put themselves into positions where they could actually build on something, and they keep dropping. Look, Manchester United's up for sale. It could go to Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who wants to do a deal with the Glazers. There's also Al Thani from Qatar, who's got super wealth. It looks like it might be going to Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I've said this numerous times on my show that if Qatar don't get hold of Manchester United, why would you logically not go and buy Spurs? They've got the stadium, they've got the training facilities. Of course, they want Manchester United, but do you think if they miss out, they're just going to go, we don't want anybody now? Spurs they're a package there. They've got the stadium, they've got the infrastructure, they've got the training facilities. They're literally what Man City were when Abu Dhabi bought them. They have everything in place. You've just got to buy the squad and get the manager in. I'd be massively frustrated if I was Spurs, and maybe that's what will happen if Manchester United end up with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Maybe that is what Spurs need. I don't know.